Guys, we did something really crazy.
It's either going to be the worst idea or the best idea we ever had.
So we decided to invest in a pool house, and it's not any kind of pool house. It's an Airbnb pool house in Canada, in Edmonton, in a market where it gets down to minus 35 or minus 40. What were we thinking?
Let's dive into it today. Okay, welcome back everyone. Michael and Katrina here with STR Wealth Academy, where we talk about all things short-term rentals and how to build long-term wealth. And in today's episode, we are going to break down our latest STR acquisition purchase that we had made during kind of an interesting time, I guess you could say.
It's never a dull moment.
A lot of turmoil, a lot of political strife happening in Canada, not a lot of great economic news coming out of Ottawa recently here.
A lot of downturns, a lot of, just housing is just getting wrecked in our country. And you're just like, okay, so why the heck did you purchase a house? Number one. And number two, a house that has a pool in it. And number three, why did you do it for a short-term rental Airbnb investment? Like, it's so contrarian that everyone's just like, really? You did this? And why?
So first thing before we kind of get into the specifics is that generally speaking, when everyone is going one direction, usually that's when opportunities start to percolate up in the market, and you find these very unique situations that with the right skill set applied to it can create a lot of value that other people simply just aren't seeing.
So when everyone is scrambling, stressed, they're scared. It's like fear. You really need to be like, where's the opportunity lie here? Because when everyone is in a frenzy, everyone's like, oh, this is the greatest market. That's when you should be fearful, right? So this is really the opposite. And this is when you're going to see a lot of deals coming through. There's a lot of fear in the market, a lot of turbulence. There's not a lot of stability. And that's actually when the opportunity arises. This is exactly what happened with this deal. And we want to pull back the curtain, look into why we did this, and to really show you, number one, short-term rentals are still an incredible opportunity. If you know what you're doing, and if you know what you're buying or getting into or managing, and how to still be profitable in this kind of market.
We're entering a market right now where you definitely have to be much more selective and much more picky about the type of properties that you take on, whether you're managing, whether you're doing rental arbitrage, or you're going down the path of actually purchasing a property. So this deal that we're going to walk through today took a fair bit of due diligence and back
it was so dramatic.
That'll be a topic for another video. The whole back,
it was so dramatic.
It was an insane story leading up to it. But we're going to share our screen here. We're going to show you guys just some photos of the property, just to give you a perspective of exactly what we're talking about, just so you can see kind of the specifics with it. So let's take a look at this. Okay, here's the house here, just to give you guys an idea. So
very smart. Anytime you're purchasing a house, make sure you save all the photos and screenshots, because the listing's down now since we purchased it. So we'll just give you high level what it looks like.
For that, in terms of some improvements we're going to be making. But one of the things that was interesting about this particular house is it had actually sat on the market for almost a year. I think it was actually longer than a year.
Yeah.
And the reason why it wasn't selling was, one, the fellow was simply just asking way too much, and he was trying to capture a value in a market that just simply did not exist anymore.
I was trying to shoot for the moon on this one, and I believe it was around 750 or 780. It was the high 700s when he had listed it last year in 2024 September.
Correct. What ended up happening when we went and viewed this house, so he had relisted it back down at $675,000. We went and took a look at it, and the first thing when we walked into this house, it had just an unbelievably bad smoke smell. So the guy had smoked in the property. So a lot of people were getting turned off by this. This kind of made our ears perk up a little bit. We're like, aha, so this is why it's not selling, or probably one of the main contributing reasons why it's not selling is, first, it was overpriced, and two, it just smelled like shit. So
yeah, well, it smelled like smoke. And that's the biggest thing. It's just such a deterrent, because this really is a family style home. It's in a very mature neighborhood.
Yep.
The lot is 8,000 square foot. It has a beautiful pool. It has 7 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. This is enormous, guys. This is a really big house.
Yeah.
And so would be a family type market. And the first thing people walk in is they're hit by a smoke smell, and it's just an immediate turn off, because they're
super overwhelming.
That was like, okay, aha, we realize this. But, kind of coming in here as investors and with the light and lens of a short-term rental, we're like, Well, that's pretty easy to fix for us, right? Like even your house, when we renovated it, had a huge smoke smell. We were able to really adjust it because tenants had smoked in his house.
So it's kind of the first lesson when you're looking for investments is, especially with real estate, is if you're finding problems, then that's where some opportunities tend to make themselves appear. Because if everything is perfect with the house, you're probably not going to make as much money on it because there's no opportunity for you to be able to improve the asset, which something like this is, it's a fairly easy thing to fix. It's basically smoke remediation, paint, and an ozone. It's not that big of a deal.
So guys, this video isn't a flex being like, oh my goodness, look at us, we're buying properties, like, oh, this is amazing. It's really just to show you that there is opportunity and there's going to be even more opportunity for people to get into this market with this unstable real estate market coming up and the opportunities coming and how to know when to buy or when to get into it and make sure that you're going to be winning with a high ROI on your purchases.
So how did we identify this specific house though? And how did we get to that whole process of deciding this was a great house that could be purchased? Well, the first thing we did is we hopped over to AIRBNB, okay? And we did something really crazy and complicated. We punched up Edmonton, which is where we were looking to make a purchase. And then we just simply went to the top short-term rentals in our city and sorted by highest to lowest revenue, okay? And when we did that, a few things jumped out right away. So all of the top performing properties were 6-bedroom homes, had a neat or unique features or amenities that other homes simply didn't have. Actually, the top performing listing when we searched was one that had a pool.
So let's just take a look.
Yeah.
I'll just share a screen here. So this is the exact research that we did. Just put it on there.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna show you guys how we got to this. So I just simply pulled this onto a Google Doc, but these were the top performing listings off of AIRBNB. So again, AIRBNB, punch in the city, go by top short-term rentals, and then sort highest to lowest revenue. So the top performing rental in the city was this house here, and well, what did it have? It had a pool. And when we did our search, it was the only property in the whole city that had this unique amenity. Okay, so that is something you might call a clue. Okay, the other thing we noticed was it was a 6-bed, 3.5 bath home, and again, it had a unique asset. So now if we go to the next one, similar thing. Now this one did not have a pool, but what did it have? Well, it had 7 bedrooms with 3 bathrooms, so large property size, and it had some other unique amenities with it as well. Okay. Third property, well, this one was just simply a large house.
A really large,
7
bathroom, but the amount of guests.
Exactly. So you could see kind of a trend, like the top properties just were simply larger, had more bedrooms, and had either unique features or unique amenities with it. So the reason why this house stood out to us was simply because, well, had a unique amenity and had a large number of bedrooms. That's what initially turned our attention onto this property to begin with.
So what's really important, guys, is just showing some of the numbers and understanding what's coming behind the scenes. The main thing here, guys, is really just to show you, number one, short-term rentals are not dead. It's really lazy thinking. When you hear that, it's just a trigger-happy word. The thing is, and the truth, is that Airbnb is not oversaturated dying. It's only half truth, because really what side of the Airbnb industry is dying are bad listings. And what we mean by bad listings is commodity listings. They're not unique, they're not different, and they're losing their pricing power because there's so many of them and it's just 4 walls and a bed, right? There's nothing really unique or different. So that's why we wanted to bring this up, is what's still thriving? What is actually working? And that's what we just saw here, is like, what are the top short-term rentals? And these are ones that solve for space. They all had 6 or 7 bedrooms in our market. Mm-hmm. They all had an experience and an aesthetic. So those ones had a pool. They had potentially, there was a smart home in there. Another one, it was a great location. They had a really nice aesthetic. They were really nice designed. Mm-hmm. And there were large homes that had a theme, story, or a draw. Like, why do people want to pay that premium? And in their mind, match that premium to what they're getting.
So the unique part with this property was it did all 3 of those things. So it solved for space. We do have a design concept we are going to be bringing forward. So on this particular property, what we did is we saw all the commonalities and we said, well, what if we just did all of those things and then took it another several steps above what everyone else is already doing that is already working. On this particular property, we're going to be modeling this as a private Nordic spa experience. We know that properties with pools, well, there's literally only one of them that had it, so that's pretty easy to mimic. Well, not easy, but this property had it, so we can mimic off that. We know that hot tubs add a lot of value, but then we're taking it several steps above that. So we're gonna go all out on this property. So barrel sauna, cold plunge, fire table, fire pit area, outdoor shower, the works.
Like a massage table, a relaxation area, yoga room. This is where we're really leaning into the wellness market of it. It's very unique, it's very private, very different. And up here in Canada, we have a lot of Nordic spas and retreats, but they're not private, they're public. And so really bringing that and making it a private one in a city is such a game changer. So that's what we're really leaning into.
With this particular property, long story short, we ended up getting it under contract for $635,000. So we actually got the seller down $40,000 in price. So again, building in some more margin of safety on our entry so that we weren't overpaying for the property. I'd say we probably got it at a fair value, not an unbelievable value, but a fair value based on what we felt the property was worth. And with what we're projecting on this property, we can get into that next, because some of the numbers here can be pretty exciting if you're a geek like me and like numbers.
Well, and it should be, because instead of having an emotional, because you might hear, oh, Nordic spa, 4 seasons, like this is amazing, right? But the thing is, all that sounds amazing, but do the numbers work, right? And I'd rather lean off numbers than just the feeling of it, right? So guys, this is really when we started getting into the numbers of it and how we could actually do it. So the home price was $635 of what we got it down to. So then we have 20% down payment, we got closing costs, and then we just have some pool maintenance needed in there as well. And really, it's just gonna have all the different elements of what we need to. We need to furnish the home, have all the amenities that Michael just said. And it's quite a bit. It's gonna land us probably right in between about $200,000 to $225,000 of upfront investment. Not cheap.
It's not a small investment that we're gonna be making into this property, but what we project this property in terms of monthly overhead, between mortgage, utilities, insurance, taxes, upkeep, the works, it's going to be right around $500 to $5,500 a month to run this property. Now, when we were projecting revenue on what we felt was possible, we had kind of a good, better, best scenario. So at the most conservative level, we were comparing this home to what the top performing listings in the city were making. The top performing listing was doing roughly around $170,000 a year, which is pretty darn good, right? So our first estimate was what we call kind of the conservative level. We said it was right around $125,000 a year, okay? So even at the base level, we would be cash flowing roughly $60,000 a year on our a net basis, okay?
So then we went to expected. So at least that's in the worst case scenario is the conservative, right? And then the expected one of what we have on here is really looking at the expected level, which would be $150K. So here's the scenarios that you guys can actually see. So we did a pro forma for this one. And when we're at the expected level, it's $150K. So annual expenses, again, we said it was $65K a year. We're looking 84 net profit, right? And then it goes up from there. So we've got the target low, which is the 175. Again, that's probably one of the top performing ones. But we're going even above and beyond that.
Because what we're basically saying is if we were even just match what the top listing in the city was.
Go down. Keep going down.
Okay.
One more. 175, because that's what we're kind of basing it off of.
So if we were to match simply what the best listing was doing, because we have amenities that they already have and then taking it a few steps above it, then we would be cash flowing roughly $110,000 a year, okay? Now, since we are going above and beyond what everyone else is essentially doing, we think this property could revenue around $200,000 a year. Now, again, this is
more.
This is obviously the best case scenario, and you can't model your assumptions on the best. You got to be mindful that may not happen, right? But if it does, then this property has the potential, in our view, to do $120,000 to $130,000, maybe even $140,000 a year in net profit.
So you look at that investment, $635, and it could potentially cash flow between anywhere to $60 to $130, $140 net cash flow. You're looking at this, you could have this investment paid back within 5 to 7 years, easily, with a net cash flow on this, which is incredible. So when I look at that, it's like, even if you're making after your expenses of it is $65K, and you're making, literally the ROI is just double right there. That's incredible.
So anyways, we'll make several more videos kind of taking you guys through the whole process, because we don't actually get possession of this house until the end of this month. But we will show you guys step by step exactly all the things that we are going to be doing to add value to the property, to help the property stand out and be unique and different. And we will give you guys live updates as we start going live, getting bookings, and making some pretty exciting stuff happen. At least that's our hope anyway.
Yeah, so this is some of the mind of behind why we invested in this, and we just wanted to share with you guys and pull back that curtain. And then we'll take you along the ride. We'll see how it goes throughout here. Barrel sauna is already ordered. We got a furnishing checklist coming up this week with our designer, and we're gonna take you through a lot of this, a lot of the designs, and get your feedback on what you think could even improve for a Nordic spa. Like, what would you wanna see? We're doing massage table, we're doing private chef, those kind of events, and like, what would you do to market this? So I love it. Please leave your comments below. And if you're wondering how we really did this analysis and a deep dive, we went really high level in this one, but we've actually done an entire workshop on how to do this, how to actually do winning properties and winning markets. We have that in the description below that you guys can definitely check out and deep dive into how we made this decision.
But let us know your comments below. Do you think we made a stupid decision, a great decision, or maybe a okay decision? We want to hear from you guys. So let us know in the comments below, and we will keep you posted all throughout the process as we kind of get underway on this journey that we're about to take.
All right, see you in the next video, guys.
Take care.